On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Tony quests for dragons, Cole enters Purgatory, and Ethan beats people with bikes. We take a look at the week's biggest news and answer your questions. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on?
Nothing. Just the
No?
usual, you know.
Yeah? Well, all right. That should make for interesting conversation then.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I bought a green screen today.
You said so in a message to me earlier. Congrats.
So, I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Tony's going to pose in front of the green screen, do some actions, and we want our community to edit and send us videos of him doing weird stuff.
I'm sure they could probably come up with some very interesting things.
I'm sure they would.
I'll have to see what I can do. I'll try to get some shots of green screen stuff out.
Here's your green screen footage. Enjoy.
I also bought a ring light.
Nice.
But I noticed I definitely have to play with the position of the lighting and all of that because it shines really brightly off my glasses.
You need duller glasses.
So I can't take my glasses off because then I can't see anything.
And we don't even want to talk about contacts.
No, we don't. I'm not doing I'm not sticking my finger in my eye so that I can see. It's not happening. So, but also joining us this week is Cole.
Great to be back. It is. It's nice. I like it.
What's going
I'm
on?
glad you're answering your own question or talking to yourself there. Yeah, it is. It's great to be back.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Thanks for inviting myself.
Exactly. I didn't just get a green screen,
No?
but I can.
He has one.
Yeah, I got one. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
I'm definitely gonna have to play around with it and see what I can do. Because I've never owned one before. It was really brought on by my son who wanted it because he wants to use it to make some movies and stuff. But I was like, I can take advantage of this as well.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
perhaps I can use a green screen to do interesting things for a website or YouTube.
I've made the mistake of wearing a blue shirt, and a lot of the settings for green screen also do the same for blue screen. So
Oh, really?
So if you have a blue shirt or a green shirt on, more of your body's going to disappear.
Well, that would be very interesting. Like I know you can do some stuff with like the wearing of clothes and have some funny stuff happen. So I'll see what I can do and see if I can make my kids laugh, then I can make anybody laugh, I think.
Yeah.
So
Should be fun.
But we're here to talk about some video games because I think we've been playing some video games this week. So Cole, what have you been playing?
So I don't think this one is a digital Devolver, but it is
Digital
following the trend
Devolver.
of. Yeah.
Devolver
If I
Digital.
keep saying these wrong, oh my gosh!
You do every time.
I will get there one of these days. So this is another dungeon crawler, little procedurally generated game. It's called West of Dead.
Publisher
I
is
saw it on
Raw
the game.
Fury. Developers
So I
of
found this-
Stream Arcade.
So definitely not that. But it is a dungeon procedurally generated. You go through leveling up like an RPG while you're trying to do everything in one single run.
You're a
It
Ghost
doesn't-
Rider in the Wild West era.
hmm It does look like that you're not, you don't like retain the progress and stuff.
Ooh.
So that's a little interesting. So it's definitely a you have to play through and do it and get better as you've learned it, but you have
Yeah.
to go through the whole game and do everything. It does look like there's some upgrades and stuff that retain um, when you beat the level. However, it starts to every time you lose, every time you die, you start back at level 1.
Ew.
So it's kind of rough on that, but I think it's supposed to get better. I've only put in about, I want to say, 1 or 2 days into it,
Yeah.
and I know very little about the game because I just basically was going through Game Pass looking for games that we could all play, and I saw that and I was like, well, that looks cool. I like Red Dead Redemption and Western games kind of. So it's a short game that looks like I could probably put a couple hours into stuff. So it's fun, and I enjoy it, and I'll be playing some more of it. And that's about it for this
I know.
week.
When you mentioned, I saw West of, and I immediately thought West of Loathing, and I was a little confused.
That's a good game.
I haven't played that one yet. It's been sitting there, and I'm like, I really should try this game because it looks interesting. I like that stick figure look for the game, but I don't actually know anything about it.
That entire game is just slapstick comedy that just
That's the stick
happens.
figure one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one now.
Yeah, and I think it's on Game Pass, so I should definitely check it out. It's probably one of those games that's not very long either, I would imagine.
No, it's a short RPG. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, what about you, Ethan? What have you been playing?
Yakuza 0.
Okay.
May or may not have ever heard of this game. I don't know.
I have played it. I really, really like Yakuza 0.
I'm enjoying it. I'm on chapter 2, which is not very far in the game, but I've been working on trying to do all the sub stories or side quests or whatever you want to call them in this game.
Yeah.
And chapter 2 is just flooded with a bunch of those, and that's like the first time you actually have access to all that stuff. So, kind of working my way through that right now. And not what is this night? Is it takes place in what 87?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what year.
It's definitely the 80s on there, in every aspect.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I was let's see. I went to one of the, oh gosh, it's not Club Sega. It's what, Sega High Tech or something.
Mm-hmm.
I went to one of those on there, and they had oh gosh, what was the game? Oh,
I don't remember what game is in.
there's like the main one that's always easy to find, and there's like one other Club Sega. I'm gonna call it Club Sega for the sake of argument.
It's basically the same thing.
It is. In fact, they're the same locations.
Baseball?
No, it wasn't baseball. Anyway, there was like the main one, and I forget what the game in there was, but there's another Club Sega in there, and it had Outrun.
Yeah, so
And apparently I've gotten good at Outrun recently.
the Sega arcade games in that are Outrun, Super Hang-On, Space Harrier, and Fantasy Zone.
Space. Wait. Yeah, it was Space Harrier. No. Space Harrier, is that? Is that the one that's that looks like a Mode 7 game?
Yes.
Yeah, then yeah, it was Space Harrier. That's in the main one. What was the other game that you said were in there?
Fantasy Zone.
And
Super Hang-On.
All right.
Which I think is motorcycle racing.
Yeah, one of the sub stories is you have to befriend one of the workers in there, and she throws a couple of challenges to you every time she sees you playing that game. Every time she sees you playing Outrun, and then her challenges are super easy to beat on there, so it wasn't a hard thing to do. And she replaces one of the two Outrun cabinets with, what was it, Super Hang On?
Yeah, Super Hang-On.
So she's like here, motorcycle. I had to beg my boss to order this, and it's like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Is that one of the ones that has the full motorcycle that you sit on, or just the handlebars?
No, it was like, it looks like the full motorcycle kind of on there. So yeah, right next to a Outrun arcade cabinet, where every time Kiridi sits in there, he's like grabbing the wheel and then like throws himself back because he's like revving the engine and stuff, and like takes off. Uh, Mr. Shakedown in that game. Not a fan.
I hated Mr. Shakedown. Hated him. I would try to run away every single time I saw him.
I fought him like 2 times, got my butt handed to me, so it's like, well, there goes a bunch of money. Found him a third time. I had his pattern down, beat the crap out of him, got all my money back that I could, and took some of his as well. And then I ran into another Mr. Shakedown that was a completely different guy, but more or less fought the same, and I ended up taking a major beating because I didn't have any recovery items or anything on me for that fight.
Wow.
So that's kind of what I'm doing. It's just sub stories and farming money. I guess I'll be farming better money later on there. So
It's really easy to find yourself getting sidetracked by just doing all of the fun stuff in that game.
which is what I want to do. I want to get all this stuff down because uh, I've already looked into some of the stuff on there. I'm kind of streamlining it a little bit more than I needed or than intended.
Yeah.
Because like I'm trying to get all the sub stories done, and I'm seeing okay, this unlocks all these characters for all this real estate stuff that I get to do later. It's like okay, yeah, that's cool. I can build an army, so that's essentially what I want to do. Might as well knock all this out now while I can, and be better off later in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, like I know what one of the big reasons that I ever actually started playing the Yakuza games was not only because Micah, was like
Held a gun to your head and said, "Play this game."
everybody play these games, but because I had heard of all the different fun side stuff that you could do. And that was one of the things that drew me to the Yakuza games first of all. And I spend way too much time goofing off when I play those games. Whether it's the bowling or the baseball or playing in the arcades, because when they give you a fully working arcade machine, I think you're required by law to actually just spend a ton of time playing it.
And it's really similar to like what you can do in Persona games, except you're not wasting time doing these activities like you would in Persona.
Yeah.
So that's like an even better benefit of doing all this fun stuff. It's like you're just doing this for fun. You're not on a schedule. You're not having to go and well, I guess you could go and make people happy, but it doesn't matter in this game. It's just have fun and be ex Yakuza or whatever it is in there.
Yeah. And all the side quests generally involve, you know, making people happy and, making a crying kid smile
Oh
or
my gosh, the one kid waiting in line so you can buy like this
video game.
and he's the last one in line, and he's already guaranteed that from what they said. And
Yeah.
and some teenager steals the game from him. Then a thug just steals the game from the teenager, and then the Yakuza steals the game from the thug, and then you get the game back from the Yakuza, and it's the Yakuza was like I was doing it for my kid. And it's like, well, there's another kid, so you give it back to the kid. He's like, oh, hey, Dad, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's
so
just this weird full circle effect happening.
It was I remember I dropped my head and I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me? I did all of this."
I saw it coming a mile away. It's like, surely you're not going to do that, are they?
Oh, it was
and then
it
they
was
do
not
it.
it was one of those moments that you're like, "This is really fun and clever," and it was a giant waste of time, but it was a fun waste of time.
It really was. Yeah, the sub stories in this game are just, well, any of the Yakuza games are just bonkers and fun
Yeah.
to do. So
Does Yakuza 0 have the guy that runs around in his underwear? I don't remember.
I have no idea. I haven't seen that yet.
He's like a common side character in the series, but I don't remember.
I think I recall seeing him in 4. Whenever you're doing the move reminiscing or whatever it is Kiryu does, where he posts about it online. There's that guy in his underwear or something stealing stuff, and then Kiryu learns a new move from it.
So yeah.
So if he's a common occurrence, then he's probably going to be in there at some point.
Yeah, he's in multiple games. I think he's one of those side characters that everybody just really loves. because he's ridiculous. You just see him all the time running around in his underwear doing stupid stuff.
Oh man, it's been quite a while since I last played a Yakuza game, so I have some catching up to do. So I'm I plan to finish Zero. I'm probably gonna play some other stuff in between in the meantime.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably go into Kiwami, and then Kiwami 2.
I know Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 are getting ready to come to Game Pass. And
And
so
I need to finish 5 still. And then I can play
uh
6, and then I can play Like a Dragon.
yeah, that's what I'm like. I have the entire run from 0 to 5 on the
And
PlayStation.
then the PlayStation 7 will be out by the time I'm done with all that.
So, and I've played up through 2. I've played 0, Kiwami 1, and Kiwami 2. I haven't done 3, 4, or 5 yet.
I've done 3, 4, and Dead Souls. And
I,
about half of 5.
I really, really, really want Ishin to come over here, but I don't think we're ever gonna get it.
It, I don't think I don't think we're getting that unless there's like some major push somewhere to get that
Yeah.
for historical purposes, which I doubt will happen.
No, I expect that game will never show up in the States, which is sad because I really want to play that. I played the demo
I think
on
the
my
PSP
account.
game got a English it's fully patched in English now, I think, and that was recent news. So maybe one day, maybe.
I guess there's always hope. The Yakuza series has gotten a lot more popular over the last few years. So I guess it's possible.
Yeah. So Yakuza 0, working on it. What about you, Tony?
I am finally getting around to playing Dragon Quest 11.
Dragon Quest
Like,
11. All right.
the Dragon Quest series is top 3 of my favorite franchises of all time. I've said numerous times that the Dragon Quest series is the reason I like RPGs. It was the first one I ever played, long before Final Fantasy. I really love the Dragon Quest series, but I hadn't actually gotten around to playing 11 yet. Because every time I think about starting, I get sidetracked by something else that I need to do. But I had some time this week, and I sat down and I started playing it, and I've played basically every night this week, and I have cleared the schedule of anything that could possibly get in the way of Dragon Quest 11, so I can finish this.
Cool.
And I am playing it in 2D.
Okay, that is an option to do. Yeah.
It is an option to do. You would think Dragon Quest 11, you're going to play the game the first time through in 3D and then go back and play it in 2D possibly.
No. No,
Nope.
just 2D all the time.
I love 2D RPGs, and this is one of those ones that I was just like, I've got the option. I'm going to try it out and see just how good it is. And I got 6 or 7 hours into the game, and I was like, you know what? I should go try out the 3D and see. So I started it up, and whenever you switch from the 2D mode to the 3D mode, because you can do it at any time, but when you do, you have to start back at the beginning of whatever chapter you've been playing.
Makes a lot of sense why I would have, because it's having to rewrite or switching between two different. Well, it's essentially two different games.
Yeah, essentially. So you can't switch on the fly. You actually have to find a place to save and start the chapter over. And so I did. I started the chapter, and I was like, I have been playing this entire game about 7 hours from the top down. I have no idea where I'm actually supposed to go when I've got 3D space to move around in. I played it for like 5 minutes and was like, nope, I'm not going to do this. Don't try to go back and forth between the two. Just pick one, stick with it. If you really want to play the game again, play it again in the other mode, but do not try to go back and forth because you will get lost. You have no idea what you're supposed to be doing. The map is totally different when you're looking at it in 3D versus 2D.
I wonder if there's like a way you can like abuse item spawning or anything in there switching between the two.
I don't know. I hadn't really thought. I don't know.
Might have to
Because
look
it
into
does.
that. I'm sure they accounted for it though.
It creates a new save file.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's like maybe if you grab something in one and then like load the file a certain way, like I don't know, like you save before you grab it in one, then reload the previous file, then you can like grab it twice or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
grab an item, save the game, put the Xbox in the freezer to drop the temperature below 32 degrees.
Freeze the game?
Yes.
Is this talking about the Famicom where you heat it up to a certain degrees to get max
That's
level?
Dragon Quest 3, isn't it?
Yes.
Or it could just be the the key cards from Metal Gear Solid.
I hope
So
you have your instructional booklet.
Oh gosh.
yeah, but the game is fantastic. Like it is really really good. And I know playing it in 2D, I think the game will take a lot less time than it would playing through initially in 3D. Uh, the maps are not as big, first of all, so you're not running through large areas. You move faster, I think, in 2D. So battles are faster because you don't have to deal with the animations. Even speeding up the battles, I think.
Just happen. It's like, yeah, this happened. You just see bars of numbers drop. That's it.
That's basically what it is. So I mean, it is like playing Dragon Quest 1 or Dragon Quest 7 or whatever on the DS. Um, so I actually probably will at some point go back and play through it in 3D, just because you should. It is, a fantastic game from all accounts in 3D. And some of the things that happen in the story, because it's the exact same story, it does all of the exact same cutscenes, but it's doing it all in 2D. And there's been some moments that I really want to see what that cutscene in particular looked like in 3D, because you can see the way the characters are talking, and you're like, I know for a fact that character, based on the way they act in the game, they are making like they're giving the
Rude
character
jesters.
side eye, or something like
They
that.
are
And so there's
glaring with the intent to kill.
there have been some funny moments and some serious moments, and like I love this game. Um, so it is definitely one that I really really hate that it's taken me this long to actually sit down and play a Dragon Quest game. Because I normally do play them very quickly after they launch, and for a number of different reasons, this one just took me forever.
I mean,
Uh,
you've been clearing River City Girls for the last couple of weeks.
well, that's true. Uh, One of the cool things about this one is that it has a bigger than normal party than previous Dragon Quest games. I mean, you can only have 4 characters at once, but I think there are 7 people total that you can have in your party.
Ooh.
And one of the nice things is that in the middle of a battle, you can swap them out. So
Is that
and
like
you can do
swap out in exchange for a turn, or is it like swap out then they have that turn
no,
instead?
it's swap out and then they get to move whenever if their point in the turn hasn't passed, they get to act just
Cool.
as if they were already in the fight at the beginning of the turn.
For Pokemon battle.
So if a character dies, you can swap them out for one of your characters that's sitting at in the wings waiting to fight. So you're not at a disadvantage. You're not down a character or whatever, and it gives you more chances to finish boss fights, which is a thing that's been frustrating to people in the past. I did have one boss fight in this game though that just did not go my way. Like my healer got taken out in the very first turn, and at that point it was the fight was over, and there was not much that I could do. And everything bad that could have happened in that fight, bad happened. And it was awful. But I managed to get back to there, real quick, because it doesn't drop you back to the previous point in the save. It just drops you back to the last church that you saved at. and you can keep going. So any levels, if you've leveled up or anything like that, you're not losing any of that progress. But I managed to go back. The fight went much better the second time around.
Good.
And it allows you to mix and match your party a little bit based on the types of enemies that you're fighting, or things that they might be stronger or weaker against. So if you have a character who does a lot of, poison-based attacks, and the enemies are super susceptible to poison or whatever, you can put them into the fight without having to worry about making sure before you get into the fight that that's the character you need.
Okay, that's handy.
So, I could not recommend this game enough. If you've never played a Dragon Quest game, it's probably the best one to get started in. It seems like it's the one that is the most friendly to people, and I can't say enough good things about it so far. And the music, I know a lot of people on the internet talk about how bad the music is in the game, but I don't get the criticisms that they're giving of the game. And a really cool thing about it is it's got both a symphonic and a synthesized score, so you can switch back and forth between the two.
Nice.
Depending on what version of the game you're playing. And it also has not only the Dragon Quest XI soundtrack, but the Dragon Quest VIII soundtrack. So you can play all of the music from Dragon Quest VIII in this if you prefer that music to the music in Dragon Quest XI. So, which I've never seen another game do.
Well, first time for everything, right?
So, and it has fully English or fully Japanese voices. So there's a ton of just customization of what you're hearing in the game, as well as visually what you're looking at. So
cool.
That is what I've been playing. That is what I will probably be playing for the foreseeable future. And then once I'm done with that, I think I have convinced my son to play through Scott Pilgrim with me.
That's a good game to play through.
So,
especially with more people.
Yeah. I'd really, really like to play it online.
One of these days, maybe, if you can figure out your...
I have no idea why that game specifically gives me so much trouble trying to get online with people.
I don't know. It's like it says, no, you can play other things, but not this.
Every other game on the Xbox works just fine, but the Xbox version of Scott Pilgrim will not let me play online. I can boot it up on Luna or Stadia and connect with people just fine.
It's too high quality.
So, maybe I need to get the Switch version. So, but that is it. That is what I have been playing. So let's take a quick break. We will come back and we'll talk about the news. So, in the news this week, Microsoft decided it's time to up the price of Xbox Live Gold.
Those jerks.
And they upped the price of a 6-month subscription. Was it 35?
They were making it match like Game Pass prices.
So they raised it by, I think it was $1 a month, if I remember correctly. And
something like that, yeah.
But it ended up to where a yearly subscription for Xbox Live Gold was going to cost you $120.
Yeah, it was basically doubling the price.
Yeah. So they made that announcement, and then the internet basically lost their collective minds and bombarded Microsoft with messages saying how bad an idea it was. And less than 12 hours later, Microsoft reversed the decision and put the pricing back to what it was before.
It was probably even quicker than their backpedaling back when they announced the Xbox One with the TV stuff and the online only thing.
So yeah, a year-long subscription previously was $60, and with the new pricing, that was going to be the cost of a 6-month subscription. So they were doubling the cost of Xbox Live Gold and bringing it, I think, close to Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate, which is what I have and the pricing that I'm familiar with. Because I think Game Pass for just the Xbox is a little cheaper than that. I think it's $12 a month, or $13 a month, and then Game Pass Ultimate is $15 a month.
Sounds about right. Give or take.
So it was a little bit cheaper to have with the new pricing to have Xbox Live Gold, which is just basically the ability to get online. It gives you some deals in the store, and then you have a small selection of games that you get every month for free with games with Gold. They were bringing it close to the pricing of Game Pass Ultimate. And I think this was Xbox or Microsoft's way of trying to get people to move away from Gold and over to Game Pass.
Seems like that was the idea, I bet. Yeah.
I think they really want to get rid of two different types of subscriptions that they have and just try to get everybody. Number one,
just roll it all into one. Yeah.
Roll it all into one. And that also, of course, boosts the numbers that they can show investors. Like, look at all the subscribers that we've added to Xbox Game Pass. And really, Game Pass is an incredible deal for the stuff that you get. But there were a lot of people who didn't really care about that, just wanted, to have games or Xbox Live Gold to be able to play online with people. And they did also and when they reversed the decision, they also made some other changes to it. And now any free-to-play games that previously you had to have games with Gold or Xbox Live Gold, I keep calling it games with Gold, and that's not what it is.
I'm pretty sure we all know what it is.
Yeah. Any free-to-play games that required Xbox Live Gold now no longer require Xbox Live Gold. So any free-to-play games on the Xbox like Fortnite, Warframe,
those other things, yes.
Is
You can
League
play
of
them
Legends
without.
no. I doubt it. Path of Exile, any game that's free to play that requires online, you do not have to have Xbox Live Gold to play online with people.
Betting we'll see a move on Sony's side here before long, doing the same thing.
You think they'll drop? Do they even have that requirement with PlayStation Plus?
I'm pretty sure they do. Like if you download the Destiny 2 free edition stuff on there, if you try to do a strike or something, you don't have PS Plus on there. I don't think you can do the stuff on there.
I wonder if that's just because some of that is paid content. Because, like, I think Warframe...
No, I said strikes, Tony. Those are not paid content.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they are, but they're not. So, yeah, that's the stuff that requires... Like, even if you had the disc, you wouldn't be able to do a strike unless you had PS Plus.
Yeah, I know, like, Paladins on the PlayStation doesn't require you to have PlayStation Plus. So there are some games on there that don't require it. But if there are, I would imagine we'll probably see the same move from Sony at some point. And I think Nintendo doesn't have that requirement for free-to-play games on the Switch. I think that's only for...
Animal Crossing.
Basically. And Smash Brothers. And Mario Kart. All the games that you want to play on the Switch. So... but yeah, it was interesting to see Microsoft reverse course so quickly. Like if I would have guessed that they would have waited like 24 hours, but by the time people went to bed that day, they had already broken the news that they'd reversed the decision.
I wonder how many people went crazy buying up all those uh, get,
The old priced cards.
yeah, like going crazy getting them off Amazon and just stockpiling them.
Because they were also basically allowing you to transfer that over to Game Pass at an equivalent rate. So if you had a 12-month subscription to Gold, you get a 12-month subscription to Game Pass. So I would not have been surprised to see a bunch of people try to scoop up those cheap cards and switch that over to Game Pass.
Cool.
So there you go. Microsoft, they seem to be the ones that reverse course on these decisions more than either of the other two big companies, and I think it's a good thing they're listening to the people that are important, and that's the people that play the games on those systems. And
I get what you're saying, but I'm betting they could have just let the people complain, and then people still would have ended up buying them, or just going. They would have gone along with it eventually.
I think eventually they would have, and they probably could have weathered the backlash and come out on the other side.
Well, we'll probably see them do a steady increase over time. Like maybe we'll see an increase of like a third, like here, and then maybe sometime like 6 months from now, another third or something increase until they get to that point where they want that full increase at.
Yeah, I fully believe that all of this comes from the fact that they want to get people on Game Pass. And they want to drop Gold. And it makes some sense. It is weird to have two separate subscriptions, especially because Game Pass gives you all of those benefits of Gold. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do and how quickly they start to raise that price back up a little bit, if they do at all. They also have said that there are other changes that are coming. One of the quotes I saw was that they wanted to make sure that the gamer was first. I don't remember exactly what it was, but along those lines, they had other things that they were going to be announcing in the coming weeks to put the spotlight on the person playing the game.
Yeah, it sounds like an excuse.
So
anyway,
Activision this week also, I think this was on Friday, announced that Vicarious Visions has become a support developer now for Blizzard.
Okay,
Vicarious
that means Tony Hawk is in trouble.
And Crash Bandicoot as well.
Oh no, not Crash Bandicoot.
Because Vicarious Visions did the development of Crash 4. They also did the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remakes. And now we are going to see them. There's rumors floating around out there that they are working on a Diablo 2 remake. Vicarious Visions is.
Also, if anyone just heard a noise from a video or something, I clicked on something. I apologize.
I didn't hear anything.
No, I meant the listeners.
So
I was trying to get the Resident Evil 8 news. Spoiler.
So yeah, apparently, according to a report from Bloomberg, Vicarious Visions has been working with Blizzard since sometime last year to work on a remake of Diablo 2, and I'd be okay with that. Like, I want to see
a remake of Diablo 2.
A remake of Diablo 2.
Okay, I'm all for that. Diablo 2 was a good game.
Diablo 2 is a very good game.
It's like Diablo 1 but better, and it's not Diablo 3.
uh, so yeah, I wonder what this though means for the future of franchises like Crash Bandicoot or what else?
Uh,
What else has Vicarious Visions done? I know they did some Destiny work, didn't they?
Warmind, Curse of the Warmind.
Curse of the Warmind. That's a good one. Uh, yeah, they did some Destiny stuff. We'll just go with that.
So yeah, but like I think Crash 4 underperformed for what Activision was hoping, based on the
Trilogy
Crash
hype.
trilogy, the Spyro.
I would say that the trilogy came out and then having 4 and Nitro Fuel and 4 following that so quickly was like kind of a bad idea. They needed to wait a little bit longer and
There was a
then
lot of
drop
Crash.
one of those.
There was a lot of Crash that came out really quickly. And I really, really liked Crash 4. I thought that was a really, really good update to that franchise. I would not be surprised if maybe we see, if they go back to Crash Bandicoot, Activision does, that maybe Toys for Bob takes over that franchise. If Vicarious Visions is going to be doing work with Blizzard from now on.
I don't know. I'm curious to see if like someone's gonna buy up the rights and then like if Sony just outright gets it all somehow and keeps it.
I don't think Activision's going to let go of that franchise.
Oh, Activision. Crap, I forgot about them.
So
I was thinking Blizzard. I was like, well, Blizzard's not going to care, but no, yeah, Activision. They own.
yeah, no, Blizzard
Yeah,
won't
that
care.
makes more sense. Okay, yeah.
Blizzard doesn't care at all about Crash Bandicoot, but I think Activision does.
Remember the good old days with Activision?
Before Call of Duty, is that like BCD?
Ah,
Is that the timeline we're talking about?
would that be what, mid 90s?
Something like that.
Gosh. Oh man.
So
Yeah, the future for Tony Hawk and Crash Bandicoot and other things is kind of up in the air at the moment.
in the air, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it does. I do see a GameSpot article talked about them being a Destiny support team. I guess yeah, because I don't remember all of the Destiny stuff. They were owned by Activision for a little while, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's and then they went independent again.
Well,
Yep.
Bungie bought their way out of it.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
They made enough money off the expansions and everything that they were able to buy the rights to the game again.
They bought the oil rights from Mars.
It's not been unusual in the past for Activision to take a studio that has done a lot of really successful development work on stuff, like the Neversoft studio who did some Tony Hawk stuff, and they became a Call of Duty subsidiary with Infinity Ward. Let's see, Vicarious Visions did Guitar Hero too. I forgot about that.
They did.
Yeah, they did. And Guitar Hero is one of those franchises that I think about a lot, and keep thinking, you know what? I'd really like to play some more Guitar Hero. But really, what I want to play is Rock Band because I want to do the drums. I don't necessarily want to do the
You
guitar.
just want a game of Drum Hero.
I do. But I really do like the Guitar Hero stuff. So yeah, Vicarious Visions going to be working on possibly Diablo and I don't know that that's a bad thing.
I look forward to it.
So I'd play another Diablo 2 game.
I'd let them build another expansion for Destiny.
Well, they'd have to get out from under the thumb of Activision to do that.
Oh.
Bungie'd have to buy Vicarious Visions.
I think they're pretty happy with their team right now, though. They've got 3 more open rooms set up.
So, yeah, there's plenty of Destiny content to come.
I believe this.
Speaking
this
of
year-
content,
Yeah,
this year is supposed to have more Destiny content.
yeah. They're talking about how this is going to be a very exciting year in Destiny.
Yeah.
Yep. And now what my segue really was for.
Capcom is all about that Resident Evil.
They certainly are. They did I think this was yesterday they were doing all this announcement stuff, right? Or day before?
They had a Resident Evil showcase.
Yeah, the thing was like almost an hour long, I believe.
They showed off that giant vampire lady.
So they showed off what I'm assuming is like the main villainess of RE8. Some vampire lady that's like 8 foot tall and
Has Freddy Krueger claws.
and looks like she belongs in a black and white film or something, and has a humongous hat.
It's Noir Madonna.
There we go.
I really like the design of this character.
I don't know. She's creepy.
Well, it's creepy in a good
Resident
way.
Evil. They're all
Yeah.
creepy,
True. Very true.
especially in 6.
6 was the creepiest game of all, man.
I had
I mean, just look at that gameplay. It's so creepy. Those controls. Oh.
I had to. I think it was the trailer. I lost my hand and I had to carry it with me.
In 6?
I think it was 6.
6 is the one where you play as like Chris, and you play as like everyone in 6.
Yeah. In 7, you get your hand cut off.
Yep.
Oh.
7 was the one with like the VR where you just have an even worse time doing that.
Okay.
So RE8 is going to be releasing around May 7th.
Hmm.
So that's coming up here in like less than 4 months.
Yeah, we're not that far away. I
Yeah.
had really was this the time they announced the actual release date?
Yeah, yeah, I guess I could share the link so you can see where I'm getting my news from.
I had expected this game to really be out in the fall.
It wasn't. I mean, this is less than a year after the game was announced, so
Yeah.
this is coming up really quick. So apparently they've been working on this like behind the scenes for a while.
Well, that's good. I think they have also seen a lot of the backlash that other companies have gotten from like multiple delays.
Hmm.
And so they waited a little bit until they knew that this game was close enough to.
It's probably why they were
to-
like teasing us with like RE3 remake and keeping us busy with that for a while, I guess.
Yeah,
ET.
That wasn't them, that was Konami.
that's kind of.
Anyway, it looks like the some of the cool stuff they were showing off, aside from huge noir lady, was like I think the merchant from RE4 is coming back. I saw that somewhere here. I'm trying to find that part of the news again.
I thought you were looking for the old sound clip.
Oh, okay. New trailer showing off more of the villains who are a family of vampires that were already terrified. Of. Okay, there we go. There's also a mysterious man wearing a cowboy hat, sunglasses, and a creepy smile. Chris Redfield and Ethan Winters definitely have their work cut out for them, is what it says. And then there was like mention of the merchant will return from RE4. We're not sure if the character, the Duke, is supposed to be him, but yeah, you know. Speaking of RE4, I think it was also mentioned. I don't know in the showcase or what, or maybe afterwards, but Apparently, there is a remake of that happening, and
That's not surprising.
there's some difficulties with that because they were like trying to go. They're kind of scared that they would do too much, like what happened with RE3 remake, where it was just such. RE3 remake was a completely different game than what RE3 originally was. So they're like, no, we want to be closer to the original content, but it's like at the same time, you don't want just a 1-to-1 remake.
Yeah.
So,
I think RE4 is the one that they really have to get right.
yeah, it's like if you do a 1-to-1 remake, you better do it right on the 1-to-1 and make it fun. Otherwise, if you're gonna make it a little different, it's keep enough of the source content and still keep fans with what they want on there. So they have a really hard, they have a really fine line right here that they're having to pay very close attention to what's too much and what's too little.
Yeah.
I think they got like rid of one of the team that was working on that and brought it like more internal or something. So I don't know at the moment what's going on with that. So, yeah, RE4. So back to the RE8. I was about to say 5. They did also show off the super special, awesome, expensive edition, which comes. It's not on this website. Crap.
It comes with your own vampire lady.
RE8 editions. Hold on, I'm getting it. Do not play this video. Stop that.
I haven't seen the special editions and what all is in them.
I know there's like a statue of Chris that comes with it. And I'm trying to find it for the price.
Your own strain of the T virus.
Yeah. I don't think they
Okay,
want to
here we go.
release.
Here we go. I got it. And it sent me to Twitter. Great. I don't want Twitter. Okay. Deluxe edition includes Resident Evil Village full game, a poster. It looks like a village map, kind of in the vein of like Castlevania style maps when you're looking at like the first game where you just had that overview kind of thing going. Or maybe later games. I don't know. There's a trauma pack product code. Not sure what that is. A steel book, art book, and a box. The box looks like a old Tommy travel box sort of thing. It's got like the travel stickers stuck on there, all worn. So that's pretty cool. The deluxe edition trauma pack, safe room music, max difficulty, save device, the Albert 01 Chris, so the weapon from the end of RE7, found footage RE7 filter, the tragedy of Ethan Winters, and a Mr. Everywhere. It looks like a little football bobblehead, which seems to be their little fun thing to show off in those games as of late. So yeah, those are things.
Yep.
And it didn't say the price. I think the collector's edition was like over 200.
That would not be surprising.
I didn't see one saying anything about being able to buy like the what do they do as of late, like Leon's jacket, which was like a $1,000 $500 and $1,000 edition or something.
Expensive.
But you get like Leon's jacket, so it's like, yeah, I get to wear the jacket.
While you're playing Resident Evil.
Oh, okay. Pre-order bundle can be ordered now, $80, and will include the gold edition of Biohazard as well as the deluxe edition of Village. Chris edition, since for blah 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 blah. Okay, it's not telling me the price still on that. Well, whatever. I tried, and in the end, that's all that I did.
Those are the people who made the Biohazard games. Biohazard. Never mind.
Biohazard is Resident Evil in Japan.
Yeah.
I was thinking Bioshock.
Yeah, that's a different franchise. That's 2K?
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah.
It's not. It's like 2K publishes it as another developer. I don't remember.
Yeah,
the name.
yeah.
What is
it doesn't matter.
It's probably Digital Devolver.
Oh, okay. $220 for that collector's edition. Deluxe edition, $70 comes with trauma. What is with this other price down here? Then?
Oh, yeah, it's Irrational is the developer of BioShock.
Yeah.
Oh, Resident Evil bundle that includes RE7 and 8. Okay, that's the $80 version. That makes sense.
Whereas which is still cheaper than buying, way cheaper than buying
Both
the
independently, yeah.
shiny version, yeah. Well, no, yeah, for sure. Buying the bundle on that one's much cheaper, but you
True.
could buy you could buy 3 copies of that for the bells and whistles version.
For those who are still wanting to have a fun go at Resident Evil 8 and just can't wait the 4 months at this point. There is a demo right now. Right now it's the Maiden demo, I believe is what it's called. Very similar to kind of what was happening with Resident Evil 7, where it was, what did they call that one originally? It was just the kitchen. No, the kitchen was the VR demo, which was a way different thing, which still equally as creepy. But they're doing kind of the same thing, but I don't know if they're gonna go to like the levels they did with Seven's demo, where you're just doing all this stuff and seeing the creepy girl appearing here and there. This one might just be here's your flavor, or a quick flavor of the game. Enjoy, and that might be it. Looks like it can be beaten in about 30 minutes if you're kind of pushing it really. But other than that, it's RE8 and creepy looking. So there you go.
Ethan's already been asking when I'm going to play through the demo.
Yeah, man, didn't know you were talking to the guy in the game.
I have a very special version of Resident Evil 8. So
would it be weird if I went and like just redid all the voice lines where I'm the one talking in the game for him?
You should go re-record the whole script, and we can do a video of you as the character in the game.
That'd be really creepy.
What are you buying?
And I can go and do voice lines for Tony Hawk.
Okay.
So,
the only character I know is, well, actually, I do know two. I know 2 different Coles.
you got the one from that Sony, the PlayStation game, Infamous.
McGrath,
Yeah.
Cole McGrath.
And then I could also. It's the Coal Train.
Yes. Woo! I want to hear that character with your voice.
I feel like it'd be much more of a letdown. He really gave an outstanding performance as this guy.
That's true.
And I'm just like, yeah, it's the Coal Train.
Ah.
Haha.
Yeah, baby.
Here we go. It's me, Mario.
All right, well, game of the year right there.
That I would give it an award.
Ooh, Gears 5 is supposed to be on Games for Gold.
Yes, it is.
Gears 5 is on Game Pass, yeah.
No,
No,
games with gold.
Gears 5 is,
Oh.
it's on Game Pass, but it's supposed to be on Games for Gold next month.
Yes.
Interesting.
So,
we still need to play that game.
yeah, I'll be downloading it with Game Pass, but I'll be adding it to my library.
Cool.
We do need to play Gears 5. I think that's the next one.
That's the one we can't play though because it's 3-player, right?
No,
2-player.
Gears. I looked it up. It's Gears 4 or Gears whatever that other one is.
3.5.
It's not Gears 5. Or was it? I don't remember. We'll have to look that up later.
Gears 5 has 3-player co-op, but not 4.
Oh, okay.
That's why we couldn't. That's why we hadn't done that one because we couldn't do that because there was you, me, Cole, Shannon.
Yeah. And I don't think there's any other Gears game past 3 that did 4-player story.
Real shame because those games are 4-player games still.
So.
Thanks.
So yeah.
whatever
That's-
company makes Gears, Microsoft.
That's why we haven't done any of the Gears games. So yeah. That though will be the show for this week. So thank you very much, Cole, for being here.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you, Ethan, for being here.
See you all next week.
And on Wednesday, we will be playing Vermintide for our stream.
Yeah.
If you want to reach out to us, we have new ways to do so. You can email us at procedurallygeneratedent@gmail.com. If you like what we do, you can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/pgent. Patreon supporters get the video version of the podcast a day early. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel, and we still have that famous Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.